Hi folks, John on the Wingman 115 channel. Thank you so much for checking in. A little bit different setting than you folks are used to seeing. A lot of times I'm up in my backwoods playground. We're out there doing live action stuff. Unfortunately, the way that the fire season has been and the way that the pandemic is, we're pretty much shut down till the first of the year in a lot of my favorite places that I go and film. But the show must go on. So we're going to do like an old school retro video for you guys. Now, years ago, I used to showcase like all the new items that a certain manufacturer was coming out with. That way, holiday season's coming up, kind of give you an idea of what to get. I thought I would do something like that today. Work Tuff Gear has been putting out a lot of great stuff this year. I have just a few items in their lineup that I'm going to get out in front of you today, and we're going to talk about it. Now, the first one that we're going to be talking about is a huge knife from a very, I want to say, famous designer. The designer is Wei-Sun Johnny Tai. Now, I've had a chance to meet Johnny Tai at SHOT Show years ago. Really cool dude, and he has designed some really cool knives over the years for multiple manufacturers. Well, he teamed up this year with Work Tuff Gear, create the King Destructo. I'm going to be looking at my show notes here so I don't miss a beat. First, let's start off with the sheath. Just an awesome looking sheath. Also comes with some malice clips, and they're from Magforce. That way you can carry this on a belt, either up, side carry, maybe on a strap, like a baldric type rig. You're only limited by your imagination. I know I say that all the time, but it's true. So, get my show notes out here so I don't misspeak on stuff. All I can say is, wow. This is a cleaver style looking knife. It's almost a 1/4 inch of steel. It's made from SK85 steel. That is a Japanese high carbon steel, almost like a 1095. And they do a great job with that too. And Work Tuff Gear with their heat treat, and I'm telling you, the way they sharpen their knives, it's just amazing. Nice sweep in there, has a bottle opener, has a nice thumb ramp that's not overly aggressive. You're going to be able to get your hand in there. And you have a saber grind with a convex edge, and it is just, like I said, razor sharp. Now, the overall length of this blade is 15.3 inches, and the blade length is 9 inches. Now, the handles are G10, and I must say, they feel really good. It's scalloped out just enough for your fingers to fit perfect in there. You could wear gloves, and I have a medium-sized hand, and it fits in there really nice. A lot of folks have large, extra large type hands. You're not going to have a problem. If you're chopping, you can get back on that. Feels real comfortable. Just an awesome looking knife designed by Wei-Sun Johnny Tai. Next up is the compact survival hatchet called the Parokol. And when I first saw this, I was like, man, this is just the perfect size to put on my little Batman bushcraft belt. I'll leave a link in the video description below if you folks are wondering what I'm talking about. I have a gear belt that I carry while I'm out in the woods, and I talk about that in great detail. So after this video, check that one out. But this one has a 4-inch cutting edge, and it is made out of SK85 steel. And like I said, on the other knife, that is a Japanese high carbon steel that is pretty close to 1095 steel. The overall length of this is 10 inches. The thickness is 0.27, just a little bit over a 1/4 inch thick. It has a skeletonized handle underneath these G10 scales, and it has these beautiful red liners, and it has bow drill divot in there as well. It has a Rockwell hardness of 56 to 58, so it's not too hard where it's going to make it too brittle. And it has a double temper process for max durability. The pommel has a hammer. It has a gun blued finish. Also has a fire steel notch for folks that are into bushcrafting type stuff. And it has a sandwich style sheath. And you have the MagForce clips on the back that you can adjust to your belt or your pack. Weighs in at 21 ounces, and with the sheath it's 25 ounces. So we're going to be taking this out real soon and putting that to work for you guys. Next up, I'm really excited about this knife. I'm not only a knife designer, I'm a huge knife fanboy. So when I saw this design on the Work Tuff Gear fan page on Facebook, I was like, man, I got to get a hold of one of these and test it out for you folks. This is the Uni Heart. And I love just that old school design. It's based on like a modern version of the Kephart. I love spear point designs. Has a little bit of a beveled top edge. It's not sharp. And what I really like is that there's some palm swell in this handle. I've been playing around with it for a couple days here at the house, and it just feels really good in the hand. I'm really excited to get this out in front of you guys. Now, as with the other two items that I showed you, this one is also made out of SK85. Has a splatter finish on there. Normally Work Tuff Gear does that on a limited run on some of their knives. They also have just like a standard satin finish as well. This is so new that I didn't even see it on their website yet. So I had to kind of do some searching to get some specs for you folks. Now, overall length, 9.5 inches, right in my wheelhouse. I like knives that are this size. Blade length is 4.5 inches. G10 scales, like we said, has like that Coke bottle design, fits really well. There's enough, I want to say, almost like a washboard style scale where it fits really secure in your hand, has thumb scallops on the side. So if you're into bushcrafting and do a lot of different knife tasks, you're going to be able to hold this knife in multiple positions. And as always, with Work Tuff knives, just right out of the box, just razor sharp, just hair popping sharp. Now, this is a first for Work Tuff Gear also, is leather sheaths. And this leather sheath looks really cool. It's a dangler, comes with snaps. A lot of folks like snaps to be able to get it on and off your belt, and fits down in there really nice. If you want to customize this, you can. I might do a little bit of wood burning art, pyrography on this leather sheath, play around with it a little bit, give it my own mojo. But that's what's really cool about stuff like this, is that you can make it your own. And I'm really excited to be able to test and review this for you folks here in the next couple weeks. But with that, that's just a quick overview of 3 new items this year from Work Tuff Gear. Now, here's a bonus feature. No stranger to the channel, the Mount Laguna. Shameless plug. I've designed this knife. We're not going to talk about the knife. I've got plenty of videos on that. We're looking at a little bit of a modification in the sheath, and I really like it to be able to hang it off a belt. Gives you that old school feel to it. I know that I wear my knife on a cross straw, but there's a lot of folks that are old school, hunters, fishermen. They just like to have something on their side, on their belt, and this is a great option for them with webbing. It's got a snap and Velcro. I like that. It holds it secure and it bolts on. It's not riveted on. So you can turn this any configuration. If you're right or left-handed, you just flip it around. It works perfect. We're kicking around that idea of maybe offering this as well. If you like that sort of stuff, let me know in the comments below. So you had a chance to see the King Destructo from Wason Johnny Ty design, the Parakol, the UniHart, and possibly a new modification to the sheath on the Mount Laguna. On these 3, I'm looking to do videos in the near future. Let me know in the comments below how you would like to see these tested. And I'll do my best to give you a shout out in that video if you come up with some really cool ideas. Now, keep in mind, we're on a limited budget here. We're not some big Hollywood production. So we just can't go out there and, you know, buy a lot of stuff to do a review. But we can go out in the woods. We can play around. Maybe there's a task you'd like to see these perform. I'll be more than glad to attempt to do that for you guys on film and give you a shout out. So I'll leave links in the video description below to everything I can. Right now, I couldn't find a link to the UniHart. I'm going to have to get a hold of Vic and see if I can find one. When I do, it'll be in the video description down below. As always, folks, I thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care.